Hey everyone, what is up, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. This is our last week of our 4-part must-do Disney series, part 4 of 4. This week we are headed over to Magic Kingdom. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Alright, so jumping right into Magic Kingdom. Now, Magic Kingdom is my favorite of the 4 Walt Disney World theme parks. Something about it just feels the most magical to me, feels the most like I'm at Disney World when I'm at this park. And so that is the reason I have it ranked as number 1. Like I said last week, Hollywood Studios is a very close second, if not perhaps tied for first at this point. But definitely top of the list for me is Magic Kingdom. So let's start right off with my must-do rides when I am at Magic Kingdom. When I go to Magic Kingdom, I always go to the right first. I start over in Tomorrowland and make my way around the loop. So that is where we will start with our must-do rides. Now, Tomorrowland does have my number 1 favorite ride at Magic Kingdom, which is a Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin. I'm not sure why that's my favorite ride. I just love riding that ride over and over again, always hoping and trying to get Galactic Hero. If you are unfamiliar with what Galactic Hero is, it is basically maxing out your score on that ride. So 999,999 points. There are certain targets throughout the ride that you can hit, which are worth 100,000, some 50,000, which help you achieve that. The most famous one probably is the very bottom of Zurg's ship. As you're nearing the end of the ride, that is worth 100,000 points, and that is typically the target that helps me fall over that threshold and reach Galactic Hero. But I love that ride. Definitely a must-do. Definitely one I will try to do more than once, 2, 3, maybe 4 times. I just love getting on that ride and playing over and over again. Now, continuing into Tomorrowland, you have People Mover, definitely on my must-do list. That is a super relaxing ride and a super fun, different perspective you get of the park when you are on that ride. Also a continuously moving ride, so even if the line looks long, it typically goes pretty fast because you never really stop moving at any point during your wait. So definitely a great ride, definitely on my must-do list when I am at Magic Kingdom. And then Space Mountain over kind of in the back of Tomorrowland. It's a great roller coaster. It's a super fun ride, but not necessarily one I have on my must-do list. If the line is short or if I can get a Genie Plus Lightning Lane reservation for it, I will ride it. But if those things don't happen, it's not one that I'm going to wait a super long time for, just because there are other things in the park that I would rather do rather than wait in line for that. Now, moving into Fantasyland area, the new Fantasyland area, in that section, what I have on my must-do list is the Under the Sea Journey of the Little Mermaid, ride. Ariel is my favorite princess. That is my favorite princess movie, so I love getting on that ride, seeing all of the fun scenes and sights and colors, hearing all of the fun music. Again, a continuously moving ride, so typically a continuously moving line, albeit very slow continuously moving line. But one I am willing to wait for, or one I will try to get a Genie Plus reservation for at some point in the day. Now, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is right there as well, close to Little Mermaid. Again, not one I have on my must-do ride. It's a great roller coaster. If you've never experienced it before, I highly suggest riding it at least once, just so you can say you've experienced it. because the ride vehicles do sway slightly, which is a cool sensation that you don't get on every roller coaster. But the line for that one gets pretty long, and it is not the fastest moving line. So unless I can snag a Lightning Lane reservation for it, it's not one I'm going to wait for. As again, there's other things in the park that I would rather use my time for over waiting for that ride. Now, moving through Fantasyland, I do have Winnie the Pooh on my must-do list. I think this is a super cute, super fun ride. Typically doesn't have a super long line. I've never seen it with a super duper backed up line. So not one I've ever had to wait a super long time for, which is a plus. And it's just a fun, cute ride to get on in the hot parts of the day because it is an indoor ride. Also in Fantasyland, on my must-do list, I do have Peter Pan's Flight on my must-do list. I love the feeling like you're flying on that ride. It's such a cool sensation. The queue for that ride is so cute, so immersive. You really feel like you have gone into the Darling's house. So super cool that Disney was able to revamp that queue and make it what it is now. So again, that one is known to have super duper long backed up lines. Would I wait all that time for it? Probably not. Probably 30-40 minutes max, or trying to get that Genie Plus reservation. But definitely still one I have on my must-do list just because I love that ride. And then across the way from Peter Pan's Flight, you have It's a Small World. That one for me is a Disney World classic, always a must-do for me to hop on that ride at least one time. Just, you know, get that song stuck in your head for the rest of your day, for the rest of your trip. So one I would wait for or go for a Genie Plus for, as it is on my must-do list. Now, continuing on, the next ride you're going to get to that I have on my must-do list is Haunted Mansion Found Over in Liberty Square. Definitely on my must-do list. Again, one I think of as a Walt Disney World classic. One that is continually moving, but because of the little pre-show, you do get held up at a point in the stretching room. The last time I was there, because of COVID, they were not stopping people in the stretching room. You were just walking straight through. I am not sure yet if that has changed, but when I go on my trip, I'll be sure to let you know if you are still bypassing the stretching room pre-show, or if they have brought it back and you stop and you get to watch that. Because that is definitely part of the experience for Haunted Mansion, definitely part of what makes it a great ride in my opinion. And also when I was at Disney World on my college program, I was able to do a behind the scenes tour of Haunted Mansion, so that makes it even better in my opinion, knowing kind of the behind the scenes of how things work and what they look like with the lights on. Makes it even a cooler experience to ride it now. Now, continuing through into Frontierland, two rides over there. Big Thunder Mountain, I would definitely put on my must-do list. I love that roller coaster. Super fun. Great ride for kids, in my opinion, because there's not any too steep drops on it. Pretty mild hills, and just a fun ride in general. It is getting kind of old, and you can kind of feel that in how rickety it is. But still one that I have on my must-do list, and still one that I will ride. And then Splash Mountain, I wouldn't necessarily put it on my must-do list. It's not one I'm going to do every time, especially if it's not very hot. I'm not a fan of walking around the park after a water ride and being super wet. I just makes me feel uncomfortable, and like I want to change clothes. So if it is super duper hot, definitely will get on Splash Mountain, but everyone else at Walt Disney World will also get on Splash Mountain, so it will likely have a long line on those days. If you are hot enough and willing to wait for it, please wait for it, because it is a fun ride. We have been told there is a re-theme coming, moving it over to Princess and the Frog, but we have not been told when that is happening, and the ride is still functional and operating today as the original Splash Mountain we know and love. So if it is open when I am there, I will probably ride it at least once just for the experience, in case it is closed or being refurbished the next time I am there. But other words, probably not on my must-do list, just because I don't like being wet and walking around the park afterwards. Now, moving over into Adventureland. Pirates of the Caribbean, great ride, but for me, not a must-do. That one I can see with pretty long lines, and it doesn't normally move super fast in my past experiences, so not one I'm really willing to wait a super long time for. Now, if it's a 20, 25, 30 minute wait even, I would wait for it and ride it to experience it, but not one I'm going to wait a super duper long time for, and probably not one I would try to get a Genie Plus reservation for either. The ride that I'm going to spend my time waiting for or going for a Genie Plus reservation for in Adventureland is Jungle Cruise. I love that ride. It is probably my second favorite ride at Magic Kingdom, just behind Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin. I love the corny jokes they tell on that ride. The backside of water is probably my favorite joke of all time, and any opportunities I get to be behind a waterfall, you better believe I'm going to take a picture of it and post about the eighth wonder of the world, the backside of water. Something about that ride is just so cheesy and so fun. The cast members play such a big role in making that ride great and making it what it is. So I love that ride. Definitely one I would wait for. Definitely one I would try to get a Genie Plus for. But with that ride, probably just one I will do once, because typically the skippers tend to tell the same jokes. So if you've ridden it once, then you're probably set and don't really need to ride it again. And then continuing through Adventureland, you kind of loop back to Main Street USA. And so that would be my ride must-do list when I am at the Magic Kingdom. Now, moving into food must-do list for Magic Kingdom. In my opinion, Magic Kingdom severely lacks in the food aspect of things. I don't feel like there's a lot of great restaurants here to eat at. Now, I will say I have never eaten at Cinderella's Royal Table, and I've never eaten at Be Our Guest. So perhaps if I've eaten at one of those, it would change my mind. But my food must-do list at Magic Kingdom is pretty small. Top of the list, definitely Casey's Corner. Corn dog nuggets are probably one of my favorite quick service meals in all of Walt Disney World. So that is definitely where you will find me for lunch. And then the other two that I have on my food must-do list are actually like dessert type treats. It's not even really something you would eat as a meal. First would be the Plaza ice cream shop, the ice cream parlor, kind of directly across Main Street from Casey's Corner. I have gotten the brownie sundae from there, and it is really good. And then you can also just get like scoops of ice cream. They have other sundaes and things like that, but really good. So I would suggest that one. But my favorite dessert at Magic Kingdom is definitely found over in Adventureland at Sunshine Tree Terrace. It is the orange cream float. Super delicious. It is Dole Whip orange and vanilla soft serve swirled together, and then orange Fanta as the soda to make it a float. So super delicious. Definitely something I will be having when I'm there. And one of my favorite desserts on all of Walt Disney World property. Now, last category, must-do entertainment. So for must-do entertainment, we will start back over in Tomorrowland and go to Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor. That is such a cute show and definitely one I enjoy going to see at least once while I'm there. Again, super cheesy jokes, but a lot of audience interaction, which makes it a lot of fun, and definitely one I enjoy going to see. And then over in Frontierland, you have Country Bear Jamboree. Again, one I think of as a Walt Disney World Magic Kingdom classic, one I'm going to see at least once while I'm there, just for the experience of it. It's cute. The bears are funny. It's got cute songs and everything. And it's a nice indoor break from the hot Florida sun. So one I will do at least once. And typically there is the only waiting you are doing is for the next show to start. So another perk of that ride. Now, they have finally brought back Festival of the Fantasy Parade. I love parades. That is one, when I was there on my college program, I would find a spot 30 minutes to an hour before so that I could have a good viewing spot for it. So definitely one that is on my must-do list. Definitely one I will be seeing. Although I will say I have heard it is really scaled back. A lot of the performers are missing and have been taken out of the parade, which is a little disappointing. I will definitely still be seeing it to experience it and let you know if it is in fact still on my must-do list in its current state or not. But as of right now, the Festival of Fantasy that I last saw, definitely on my must-do list. And then there are two new kind of entertainment shows at Magic Kingdom. One is the Mickey's Magical Friendship Fair, which when the last time I was there and they had a stage show, it was called Mickey's Royal Friendship Fair. From what I have seen, from what I have read, from what I have heard, they are pretty much the same show, perhaps a song difference between the two. So, Mickey's Magical Friendship Fair, I have not seen. Mickey's Royal Friendship Fair I have, and it was on my must-do list. So I'm going to think Mickey's Magical Friendship Fair will also be on my must-do list. But, of course, again, I will be seeing it. I will be experiencing it when I go in just 14 short days. And I will let you know then if it still is on my must-do list or not. And then last entertainment from Magic Kingdom that I have a big question mark next to is Enchantment. Now, I have not yet seen Enchantment. I was a big Happily Ever After stan. A moment of silence for Happily Ever After. We miss her dearly and we wish they would bring her back. But assuming that they won't, we have Enchantment. I don't want to make too many judgments about it until I see it for myself, but from what I have heard, people who loved Happily Ever After are very disappointed with Enchantment and wish it would return to what it was. But like I said, I'm not going to make too many judgments. I'm not going to speak too much about it just yet till I see it for myself. But as soon as I see it, I will let you know what my thoughts and opinions are and if it will stay on my must-do list or not. Like I said last week, I'm a big nighttime entertainment fan. Fireworks shows are some of my favorites, especially at Disney World. So I'm sure I'm going to like it and keep it on my must-do list for that aspect. but as far as kind of what it has turned into from what it was, I'll be sure to let you know my thoughts and opinions about that. And that is all I have on my Magic Kingdom must-do list for you. There's definitely, I feel like, more rides on this list just because I feel like Magic Kingdom has more rides than any of the other parks. But this again is a park I like to just go and walk down Main Street, take in the sights, take in the sounds. It is, again, like I said, the one that I feel is the most magical, the one where I feel the most at Disney World. And so that is what puts it at the top of my favorite parks list. So overall, I love that park. I love spending my time in that park. And I really love just hanging out at that park, finding a seat, sitting on the hub grass, and just taking everything in. I have saved it for the last day of my trip when I go because I like to save the best for last. So that is all I have for you guys this week for Magic Kingdom must-dos. Hopefully you enjoyed this series. Hopefully you found some of it helpful, or maybe some of the things that are on my must-do list were also on your must-do list. And I'm sure some of the things that are on your must-do list were not on mine. So if that is the case, leave a comment down below to let me know what is on your must-do list at Magic Kingdom or at any of the 4 Walt Disney World theme parks. Thank you guys for watching and coming back each week to see the next installment of this series. Next week we will be moving on to a different video. So make sure you subscribe and turn on the bell so you are notified every time I post and you don't miss any upcoming videos, because very soon here we will be having Walt Disney World trip videos, which is super exciting. I'm super excited to go and to be there and to document it all for you guys to see and watch. So definitely subscribe. You're not going to want to miss that. Make sure you press that like button. Engagement is super helpful for me to know what you guys like and what you don't like. Continue to share this with friends and family. We are still trying to reach out to more people and grow this channel, so any help is appreciated. Make sure you head over to Instagram and follow me there at Opal's Disney Corner. Again, when I'm on my trip, that is where I will be posting daily updates, so you are not going to want to miss any of that to stay up to date in real time with my trip. So make sure you head over and follow me there. And with that being said, that is all I have, and I will see you guys next week on The Corner. Peace.